Hello and welcome to episode number 400 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be SmackDown for week 3 of August 2023. It is SummerSlam SmackDown, and that's the kayfabe reason why we've got every single brand here tonight. But, you know, the reality is, it's 400 episode special, come on, let's give it a go, let's give it go big. And it is also the go-home show, like, no plural, for SummerSlam. And yeah, we've got a big main event tonight as Raw's champions and SmackDown's challengers will team up. It will be Cody Rhodes, Sasha Banks, LA Knight and Asuka teaming up to face Raw's challengers and SmackDown's champions, being Drew McIntyre, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky and Carmelo Hayes. And on top of that, we know we're going to have Miz TV with the guests being the other members of the Fatal 5-Way for the US title, and we're going to get caught up from a big incident that happened last weekend involving Seth Rollins that I'll address later on in the show. Without any more further ado, though, let's jump straight into tonight's show. We kick off with John Cena coming to the ring, unannounced. And he gets into the ring and he goes, "Surprise!" He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SummerSlam SmackDown." Now, I know what you're thinking, John. What are you doing here? And to that I say, it's SummerSlam SmackDown. You know, SummerSlam, for the first time ever, coming to the Tokyo Dome. Coming to Tokyo, Japan for 2 nights. Tomorrow night, we've got a hell of a show for you, ladies and gentlemen. We've got two inter-promotional dream matches. We've got WWE Championships on the line. We've got SmackDown Championships on the line. We've got ECW. And now, I found myself a little bit of free time recently. I don't know if you've noticed. So now, it's time. You've got me for another 2 months. You've got John Cena. Now, while it may be a little bit too late to find myself in the ring, either tomorrow or Sunday night, you know I'm going to be there. You know I'm going to be at SummerSlam. It's going to be quite possibly the biggest SummerSlam of all time. And I can't miss it for the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me to return once again. Thank you for the warm reception, Tokyo. And enjoy SummerSlam and SummerSlam SmackDown. Io and Cammy interrupt him. Io comes to the ring. And she just sort of looks at him. John Cena looks at Io. Cammy's there. Io obviously speaks in Japanese to the crowd. And the crowd pops for her because, you know, we're in Japan. And Cammy's like, "Do you want me to get that for you, John?" He's like, "Go ahead." He's like, what Io Sky, the Genius of the Sky, you know, the woman to my right, the Josie Judas, the WWE Women's Champion, all of that stuff. What she said to you is, "John, this will be the biggest SummerSlam of all time." And it was before you showed up. So, you showing up doesn't make it the biggest SummerSlam of all time, as you would like to say that, John. Because you're looking at the real star. You're looking at the woman who's going to main event on Sunday night. You're looking at the one who's going to once again defeat the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. And keep a hold of her queendom here on SmackDown, the Women's World Champion, Io Sky. Now, John, I know during your days, WWE was the land of the red, white, and blue, you know, as American as apple pie, you know, never give up and all that attitude. But they didn't want, but that's not what we do around here anymore, okay? Okay, and you sort of lost sight of that yourself. And in that time where you lost sight of that, Io stepped up. Okay? This, John, you're looking at the new face of WWE. So you can come out here and you can pander to these fans, These fans know who they want. And who they want is Io Sky. Carmelo Hayes also comes out. He goes, Cammy, check. Don't mean to interrupt you, baby. You've given John Cena a good old tongue lashing out here, but... Evening, John. And he's like, Carmelo Hayes? He goes, it's been a while. He goes, it has been a while, hasn't it, John? I see you've been up to a lot, So I hear you're unemployed currently, so you had to come crawling back to WWE, okay? It's tough, okay, I get it. But I've had quite a good few months if you haven't been paying attention, John. Okay, last time you saw me, I was beating your ass at WrestleMania, and now you come back and I'm the World Heavyweight Champion. I bet it's not quite what you were hoping to see when you came back here, was it, John? He goes, see, that's where you're actually wrong, Mello, because, you did beat me at WrestleMania, and I hold my hands up and say that the Battle Royale probably won that night, even though you didn't do it quite as I'd hoped. You did beat me. And to see you standing here as the World Heavyweight Champion gives me one emotion, Mello, and that's not jealousy, that's not anger, it's pride. Okay, because that kid that walked down the ramp at WrestleMania and pinned me to the torso match, I knew he was going to be special. And you've gone on to prove just that. That getting into the ring with John Cena at WrestleMania still makes you special. And Carmelo Hayes, you are special. But a little birdie told me about this other guy here on SmackDown. Another guy that these crowds really seem to love. A guy called L.A. Knight. And the crowd would go, yeah. He goes, what about him, John? What about, I'm going to beat his bum ass tomorrow night. John goes, no, you see, I've been watching you and I've been watching L.A. Knight. And L.A. Knight reminds me a lot of myself. So, you could beat him. But also, he's definitely got your number, Carmelo Hayes, because I've been in the ring with you. And I know the weaknesses to your game. So all I'm saying is good luck tomorrow night. You're going to need it. And Trick goes, whoa. Stop that talk, Melo, okay? This guy coming out here, running his mouth, thinking he's all that. John Cena, you're a washed-up has-been. You're never the greatest of all time. Okay, the greatest of all time was Muhammad Ali, no matter what the combat sport. About it. So you can get your bum ass out of Carmelo Hayes' ring. And Cammy steps and she goes, well, it's actually Io's ring. But, this seems cool. If you want to dispose of John Cena out of Io Sky's ring, then be our guest. We're not going to stop you.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Out comes Cody. Cody comes to the ring and he stands side by side with John Cena. And he goes, so, Tokyo, what do you guys want to talk about? He says it in Japanese, I imagine. Like he did when he was in Puerto Rico and he said it in Spanish. He goes, I haven't got much I want to talk about. I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about SummerSlam tomorrow night when I defend my WWE Championship in the main event against Drew McIntyre. And now Drew McIntyre, he's a formidable foe. He's a former WWE Champion many times over himself. And he's got a new chip on his shoulder. But Carmelo Hayes, just like you say that you're going to defeat LA Knight, I know I'm going to defeat Drew McIntyre because I have to defeat Drew McIntyre. And I goes, Cody, and you and I look, both, come on. Tonight, in this main event, we're on opposite teams. And at SummerSlam, you're going to get your ass beat by Drew McIntyre and lose that championship. Cody goes, well, I see a fighting champion who, quite frankly, doesn't look as confident as he's making himself out to be, because he knows deep down that LA Knight's got his number. And Trick's like, whoa, if you two don't want to wait till the main event, we don't have to wait till the main event. We'll bump your asses right now, here and now, about it.
Yes, y'all, so fresh, y'all. Snoop Dogg was Sasha Banks, we the best, y'all. Make way for the new, what it do? And if you run away, let me say she coming for you.
Out comes Sasha. Goes, whoa, boys, you know, we can't have a champions party here on SummerSlam SmackDown without the boss, the WWE Women's Champion. You see, SummerSlam is going to be a big night for all of us. But I thrive at SummerSlam. Okay? I can barely count on one hand the amount of times I've won championship matches at SummerSlam because I'm just that decorated. I'm the most decorated female superstar in the history of this damn company. So if there's anyone in this ring who claims they're the new face of WWE, it's me. Then Io gets in her face, starts shouting. Cammy goes, Io, it's not worth wasting your time on, you know, her. Save it for later on tonight when we pin her in the main event tonight and she's looking up at the lights. Then we'll see who's the face of the company. Then John Cena just sort of like evacuates everybody out. We don't get a fight because everybody's here, you know, just a fun segment to kick off the show. John Cena's back because, you know, he came back in real life because of the writer's strike, so I'm fucking using the GOAT. Of course I am. They cut backstage, Ilya Dragunov. I forgot about the language barrier. Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem on the show. That first segment got a 95 regardless. I don't know why. And Kayla says, Ilya Dragunov, I had just heard that Brock Lesnar is not in Tokyo here tonight. And he goes, figures. Okay, I'm more than okay with Brock Lesnar waiting until SummerSlam to get this beating that he deserves from me. But I thought Brock Lesnar was a man. I thought Brock Lesnar was the most savage man on this SmackDown roster, but he appears to have run scared of the Mad Dragon. For the first time in his career, Brock Lesnar is showing cowardice when up against me. And he stares into the camera, like the camera zooms in, so we just see like a really close up of his face, his mad eye. He goes, and Brock, if this is your first time showing real fear, it's well earned. See you at SummerSlam. And he walks off. 83 rated opening match. Solo, who's teaming, of course, with Jacob Fatu to face Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at SummerSlam, either today or tomorrow. I don't have the list of which night each match is on in front of me. But yeah, Solo beats Sami with the Samoan Spike in 11:58. 77 for Solo, 88 for Sami. Nice. 83 for the overall match. That's pretty much bang in the middle of the two ratings, so yeah, sure. We then see this. It's a fighting segment involving Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan. It's again Bryan and Okada, you know, we're showing a video package of like what Okada's doing, what Bryan's doing. And then we get exclusive footage from, it would have been, I think this is actually timed out perfectly. Because the G1 finals happened last weekend in-game. And I think Ospreay wrestled on that show. Because I think he is the IWGP champion. I haven't said that on screen, so I wasn't sure, but I did check. But yeah, I think he did wrestle at the G1 final. I don't know if he was in the G1 final, or if he was just defending the belt or what, but he was on the card. So we'd run an angle where we'd send Seth Rollins there, and Seth would attack Will Ospreay at the G1 final. I can imagine he'd be hooded up, and his face hidden behind a mask or whatever, and then he'd jump into the ring, curb stomp him, and then take the mask off. And yeah, just a fun little angle that I wanted to do because I knew it was around the time of the G1 final. And yeah, and Bryan and Okada, I didn't want to overkill and send both, so, you know, just Seth went. Feels like more of a Seth Rollins thing to do anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most must-see derby talk show in history. Welcome to Miz TV. Now, SummerSlam is right around the corner, and one of the hottest, most anticipated bouts of the entire show sees the United States Champion Pete Dunne put his gold on the line. Now, who is Pete Dunne defending his championship gold against, you may ask? Well, of course, that would be Buster Gates and Angelo Dawkins and Nathan Fraser, and the man who's going to become the new United States Champion at SummerSlam, me. Now, before I bring my SummerSlam opponents out here tonight, I want to tell you why The Miz is the right money to put your yen on to become the new United States Champion. You see, for many years, I've been looked at as the Intercontinental Champion guy, okay? I've held that belt more times than anybody else in history. Now, that championship's over on Raw, and now Sheamus has held it for the first time ever. Whoop-de-doo, I've held it 10 times, buddy. Come back when you're on my level. And anyway, now it's my turn to raise that United States Championship up to the same level that I raised that Intercontinental Championship up. But it's not being raised up, being around the shoulders or in the mouth of a damn scumbag like Pete Dunne. I mean, that's what even is a bruiserweight, okay? That championship deserves better than Pete Dunne. That championship deserves me. Buster Gates comes out and he goes, Miz, when are you going to learn that, you don't just get things around here. You've got to earn things around here because you can't accept that because you're not good enough to earn things around here, okay, buddy? You'd have to try and cheese your way out and become United States Champion. Well, guess what, buddy? I want to be United States Champion too, and there's nothing in my way. I'll take down you, Angelo, Pete, and Fraser. All of them come at me and I'll put you all down when the Revolution will be televised or streamed on Peacock. And I walk out the WWE United States Champion. Angelo Dawkins like, yo, fam, check it, okay? Listen here. You're all running your mouth here, worrying about who's going to become the new United States Champion. But fam, it's me, okay? At WrestleMania, I walked into that match, Intercontinental Champion, and nobody believed I was walking out with the championship. And I may not have walked out with the championship. So you're thinking, Angelo, why is this time going to be any different? Because I learned from my mistakes, fam. And Miz, you're just a walking mistake. Buster, come back to me when you've actually won something, kid. Because I've won Tag Team Gold. I've won Intercontinental Championship Gold. And come SummerSlam, United States Championship Gold. Fraser comes in and goes, well, lads, it sure was, a jolly old time back there listening to you all yap on about why you all think you're going to be the United States Champion. But quite frankly, the matter is that none of you are going to be United States Champion because I am. You see, I beat my mentor Seth Rollins in my debut here on SmackDown. And ever since that day, I've been looking to rise up and make my own mark, and I'm on the cusp of making my own mark. And I will make that mark when I win the United States Championship at SummerSlam. It's not a damn thing that you, or Pete can do to slow me down. Pete Dunne then storms out. He's got a mic. And Miz just starts shocking and goes, and here he comes, the big bruiserweight himself. What do you got for us, Pete? Huh? And he puts the mic in his face. Pete twats the mic out of the way, snaps Miz's fingers, and he screams in pain. And then he runs to the back, pretending that his fingers are properly fucked and he can't wrestle. Which leads to a tag team match, Buster Gates and Angelo Dawkins against Nathan Fraser and Pete Dunne, which gets an 81. We take those. It is the Brits, the babyface team, who pick up the win. Pete pins Angelo with the bitter end in 13:25. 80 for Fraser, 90 for Pete, 73 for Buster, and a 76 for Angelo. Nice, so these with the Miz thrown in is the SummerSlam match, so that should be pretty okay. A nice little mid-card match. We then cut backstage to Bayley. She's sat in a reading chair. She's got reading glasses on. She's got a turtleneck on, and she's reading a book. She goes, "Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there, dummies. Okay, you're probably wondering, Bayley. What does a great top-class, world-class competitor like you read at a time like this? It's the story of damage control, and how Chapter 1, the formation. It was formed by me, of course." Forgot about that. Cora came up. Yeah, she was trying to hug me. Yeah, I turned Cora into the bitch she became. Oh, yes, Chapter 2, The Rise. Dakota Kai joined the group at the request of me. And then I won the SmackDown Women's Championship. And Cora won the Liberty Championship because of me. And then Dakota Kai and Bayley won the SmackDown Women's Tag Team Championships. And then Bayley main evented WrestleMania. And then the last chapter's left blank. So what have we learned here today? We've learned that in this story, the story of Damage Control, there was only ever about one person. Dakota wasn't important. Anyone could have been Dakota Kai. Anyone could have played the role of Cora Jade. But there's only one role model, one Bayley. And this final chapter's left blank. It says, at SummerSlam, the three women waged war in a triple threat match to find out who was really in control. And the winner ended up as... And the writing stops. Now, I could fill in the last word in that segment. Or you could just watch SummerSlam and I'll show it to you. Then cut to Gorilla. Kayla's with Candice, Florence, Laura, and Kelly. She goes, ladies and gentlemen, my guests at this time, Candice LeRae, Florence, Laura, Valkyria, and Killer Kelly. At SummerSlam, you four, alongside Bianca Belair, face off against the Next Gen girls. They've been running ruckus on Heat recently. And Candice goes, Kayla, quite frankly, I'm sick of talking about these Next Gen girls, okay? Because EO has my championship that I've not got a rematch for yet, okay? Don't think I've forgotten about that, okay? But now, these little kids want to jump me and try and make their name at my expense. I've got this business to deal with first, and then I'm getting my championship back. So, tonight, Miss Money in the Bank Florence is going to face that green-haired loudmouth Kathy Cool, and she's going to put her down. Then at SummerSlam, us four, and hopefully Bianca, can get on the same page, beat Next Gen once and for all, shut them up, and then we move on to become the Women's World Champion once again, Candice LeRae. And in the background, we can see Florence sort of playing around with her briefcase. And she's like, "Oh yeah, Candice LeRae, Women's World Champion, And she looks down, just laughs at the case, and goes, "It seems like easy prey if I want to, cash this in and take that championship myself. But hey, I'd never do that, right, buddy?" Pats Candice on the shoulder aggressively, and then Florence's music hits as she walks out for her match against Kathy Cole, who has all of Next Gen, so they are outnumbered. But Bianca Belair does come out in the end, and she does, even the odds. And for the first time ever, I believe, other than that disqualification loss that Nene took to Bianca on Heat, for the first time ever, a member of Next Gen does get pinned in a match. Florence pins Kathy Cool with a rain flow. Because, the Next Gen goes to fight with Candice, Laura, and Killer Kelly on the outside. Bianca comes out 4-on-4. She evens the odds. That distracts Kathy. She gets turned inside out with that rain flow. And Miss Money in the Bank, Florence, picks up the win here on SummerSlam SmackDown. 44 for Kathy, 89 for Florence, 79 for the match is good. That should hopefully help Kathy a lot. But then after the match, Bianca slides into the ring. And she, waits for Kelly, Laura, and Candice to get in as well, and she stands in the middle and she raises the arms. Probably Candice and Florence specifically. She's in the middle. She raises their arms like she's the captain. She raises it up and goes, "Yeah, look at these girls. They won because of me. I kind of like it here on SmackDown." And then Candice goes, "Yeah, well, just don't be late. At SummerSlam." Bianca goes, "Girl, I'd never do that. Okay." We then cut backstage and John Cena is walking through the hallway. John Cena is the one who gets the funny hallway gimmick this time. He's walking through the hallway, he's just checking out, and then Bobby Fish walks and goes, John. Guess what? He goes, "What?" He goes, "I've got an awesome new game for you to play, okay? It's called Where's the Lie, okay? John Cena is the greatest wrestler in the history of WWE. Where's the lie?" And Cena goes, "Well, I'm actually, a couple of years ago when I was really starting to believe my own hype, I'd have agreed with you and said there was no lie. But, I'm my own worst critic, and I think there's a lot of people better than me, so I'd say that actually isn't true, Bobby. Sorry." Goes, "Oh, if you didn't like that, you're going to love this next one." It says, John Cena fumbled his one and only WrestleMania main event with Randy Orton back in 2021, and his chance to become a 17-time record-setting world champion, and now he'll never do it again. Where's the lie? And Cena just shakes his head and just laughs and goes, "Enjoy your night, Bobby." He goes, "I'll find the lie, John, I'll find it." And then Tony D walks up and goes, "Hey, John Cena. I don't think we've been introduced. Tony D'Angelo. And Cena goes, I've heard a lot about you, kid. You know, word gets around about the things that you have got up to during your time on SmackDown. He sort of like leans in and whispers in his ear like that. And then Tony G looks nervous and confused, like, who told you about that? And Cena's like, oh, you did it live on pay-per-view. And he turns around to the family, he goes, we gotta get out of here. And they run off and Cena just laughs. And then he's cut off again, this time by Tiffany Stratton and Mariah May. And she goes, oh my god, John Cena, the one and only greatest of all time. Okay, look, I know, right, you're kind of busy right now. You know, you got celebrity stuff to do. You know, you got movies. But I was thinking this, okay? You're like a big movie star right now. And, you know, Peacemaker, I loved it. I was thinking I could be great on that show, okay? Imagine this face. I mean, obviously not with this mask on. Once my nose has been healed from being broken by that Becky Lynch. I would be great on that show. And, you know, I'm obviously going to be the star. Because, you know, I'm the center of the universe. Everything revolves around me. And I'll be the it girl, okay? So, when this whole thing's over, remember me when the next casting call comes. Cena goes, I could never forget this. Have a good night, Tiffany. And he walks off, and then Hit Row walk up, and Top Dollar goes, John Cena, you know, little known fact about Top Dollar is, there may actually be one person harder than Top Dollar. That's John Cena, you know. My Time Is Now, the album, loved it. You know, part of the reason why I wanted to become a WWE superstar and got into rapping is because of, you know, the Doctor of Thugonomics. He was my favorite growing up. And Cena goes, well, that's great. You know, I've heard you've done a couple of raps too. And he goes, I was wondering, Hit Row collabs with John Cena. What do you think? And he goes, well, I'm a little busy. And, well, where's Swerve? And he goes, Swerve's, he's still healing up from a bad injury, you know. Last week we failed to get him in the United States qualifying match. And we're looking to make it up to him by, you know, getting a collaboration with the one and only John Cena. And he goes, well, my rapping days are behind me, kid. I'm going to have to pass. He goes, could we at least get an autograph on this vinyl? He hands him a Hit Row vinyl. And he goes, sure. John Cena signs the Hit Row vinyl and he walks off. And Top Dollar goes, Swerve's going to love this. 71. 10-woman tag team match. Serving as a preview for the Women's Battle Royal at SummerSlam. We've got the heel team of Blair Davenport, The Fierce and the Fabulous, and VXT against the face tag team of Shotzi Blackheart, Platinum Princesses, and Nightlight. And it is the heel team who pick up the win here. Shayna Baszler submits Aaliyah with a Kira Food clutch in 11:21. 60 for Deonna, 49 for Chelsea, 76 for Shayna, 43 for Mella, 63 for Blair, 42 for Shantae, 70 for Naomi, 59 for Skylar, 64 for Aaliyah, and a 68 for Shotzi. So yeah, there's obviously 1 ECW, 2 Raw, 2 SmackDown on each side. And yeah, will one of these women win that Hana Kimura Memorial Battle Royal at SummerSlam? I have to wait and see. We then cut backstage. And Sasha's in there, she's getting ready for the main event. When Asuka walks in. This is the first of 4 of these segments tonight. And Asuka walks in. And she just laughs. She goes, Sasha, good luck at SummerSlam. Sasha goes, I don't need luck, okay? You know, I've won, like I said earlier, I'm like the queen of SummerSlam. And like, as a former queen of the ring, I get you. And I also went to the queen of the ring and I won the championship at SummerSlam. So, you know, no stress for you. Okay. But I'm not worried about your match tomorrow at SummerSlam. I'm worried about tonight. I'm worried about the main event. So SummerSlam, SmackDown, the boss, the Empress of Tomorrow, the megastar, the American Nightmare. Can you handle it? And Asuka goes, nobody's ready for Asuka. Then Kairi walks in. And like it's kind of tense because Kairi does have like a history with Asuka. I know they sort of like be on the same page now because that was a couple of years ago when Io first came up, but you know, Kairi did turn on Asuka to join Io. She goes, Kairi, good luck tomorrow. You're gonna need it. And she laughs, so she leaves Sasha and Kairi in the room together. And Sasha goes, look, I know what you're thinking, but I'm gonna be perfectly fine to whip your ass tomorrow at SummerSlam too. Okay? So you just sit your little ass down here, and watch a real champion do work. Okay, who knows? Maybe I'll even do you a favor and, beat your old best friend, the one who sent you packing to SmackDown. Send you packing from SmackDown. Yeah. But yeah, see you tomorrow.
Always ready! Won't take it back from me.
Matt Cardona makes his way down to the ring, and he says, "Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, the rumors were true." The last 8 weeks have been wild, okay? I've been hammering it up on Twitter. The indie god has been doing his rounds, okay? Because nobody knew. Nobody knew. You should have known, because the word major was in the thing, that this major return, the biggest return in WWE history, the day your lives all changed, was because the indie god once again becomes the sports entertainment god. Now, I know there are a lot of you confused, looking at me, going, haven't I seen that guy before? No, let me tell you this. Hi, my name is Matt Cardona. I'm a big, rich, megastar, independent wrestling god. Okay, I'm a deathmatch king. The king of hardcore, you could call me. Hence why I have this. He holds up the ECW television title. This championship, a lot of you thought this was in WWE's vault. No, I've had it this whole time, because I earned it. And now, I'm here, standing as the ECW television champion, and there's now an ECW show perfect for a deathmatch icon like myself. Okay, so WWE will never be the same again, because there's no more fist pumps, no more spike in your hair, no more woo woo woo. This is all about me and myself and I. And how the wrestling god, the sports entertainment god, finally came home. Because he was tired of that bullshit indie life. Because so many never will be's were trying to rub shoulders with me for my social media clout. And I know, again, you're confused. You're looking at me and going, hey, that's Zack Ryder. No. I'm not Zack Ryder. I was Zack Ryder, but those days are done. That guy, Long Island Iced Tea, in case you didn't see, he's dead, okay? He got blown up in a limousine. This is all about Matt Cardona. I don't want to hear Zack Ryder. You're all gonna forget about that, and I'm gonna lose it if any of you even dare say his name.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Matt, because you called? And Cardona goes, What the hell? No, I didn't call. This is my time, my major return. The biggest return in WWE history wasn't for you, it was for me. Okay? Who even are you? He goes, well, Matt, you said my name. And I appeared. Now I see that you hold a championship. And what sort of a man brings a championship to a wrestling show and doesn't defend it? So if that is a real championship like you claim it is, you'll have no problems defending it against me next week on ECW. Cardona laughs. He goes, yeah, well, enjoy your 5 minutes of fame being in the ring with the sports entertainment god. Because I'm going to reign ECW television champion until the end of time, okay? Rhino got this for 22 years. I'm going to hold it for 30. Okay, but I'm going to actually actively defend mine. So when they give a little trivia question, when the longest reigning champion came to an end, because I either retired or dropped dead with the belt, they'll ask who was the first victim of Matt Cardona, the indie god, the pro wrestling megastar, the pro wrestling god, the sports entertainment god. Who was his first victim? And then they'll say his name. So yeah, of course, for how grandiose and over the top the hype packages were, it had to be someone of this caliber. And Matt Cardona, I was told to bring him back. He's got the ECW television title. It all made perfect sense. The stars aligned. And, he's the sports entertainment god. So he does think he's the biggest return in the history of WWE. And he's here. The ECW TV title is home. Matt Cardona, I guess, is the champion. And he got to defend it next week against Joe Hendry on ECW. To, I guess, firmly solidify that it is a real championship. Now this FTW bullshit. We then get Io in her locker room getting ready for the match. Then Charlotte walks in. And Io gets in the face. Look, I'm not here to fight. Okay. I'm here to, because this is SummerSlam SmackDown, and we got a big match in the main event tonight. And I'm really good at the whole thing of giving orders and not taking them. So I know we've also got Drew and Carmelo to worry about, but I'm just telling you that if you listen to me tonight, then we'll get the victory done. And Io shouts at Charlotte in Japanese. And she goes, "Can you get that one for me, honey?" She goes, Io said that she's the WWE Women's World Champion around here. What are you? This is her home country, and not yours. Io's the top star, the face of the WWE, and you're not. So there's no reason why you should be bossing around her. So Io's not going to say that she's taking control tonight. Just stay out of her way. And then Io leans in and goes, "Bitch." And Cammy just laughs and goes, "Don't think I've got to translate that one for you." Charlie goes, "Whatever." "56. Oh my god, Carlito's terrible. Carlito has his first match back. We can actually have a member of the LWO in the ring with Santos Escobar this time because all the brands are here. So it is Santos against Carlito. And Carlito does pick up the win. 10-30 with a backstabber. 70 for Santos, 24 for Carlito. I needed to give Carlito a big win. I don't want to beat him in his debut. And of the members of the LA Extreme, Santos felt like the one most beatable right now. So yeah, I know he's just turned, but it is what it is. It's fine, we move. Carlito gets 24. Oh, it is in Japan as well, to be fair. Because I will account for that because this has been going on for 3 years on a WWE network that is enormous everywhere around the world. So I think most of my roster is now caught up worldwide in terms of popularity. Like, I think Santos is 70s everywhere, not just in America and shit. But because Carlito's new, he wouldn't have already done that, so I do assume he is low pop in Japan, so that probably does have a lot to do with why he only got 24. Okay, that does make some sense. If you can follow along with that. We then see Cody Rhodes, he's putting on his jacket in his locker room. He goes, "Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare. Let me talk to you." And him and LA Knight sort of bump fists. He goes, "Now, it's an honor to be teaming with the WWE Champion, the American Nightmare and the Megastar, a team once in a generation. Yeah. Now, tonight, you got that bomb-ass Drew McIntyre that you get your chance to get your hands on. I got Carmelo Hayes who's been ducking me for months. And the girls, they seem pretty up for it later on tonight. I just need to know, Nightmare, are we good?" And Cody just leans in and goes, "Yeah." And then they shake hands and walk out. The Mega Powers 2.0. LA Knight and LA Knight and Cody Rhodes ready for the main event tonight. we come from that to Trick and Melo in their locker room. I just don't see why John Cena's out here. He's running his mouth, okay? We could have put John Cena down once and for all. And he goes, Trick, relax, Trick. It's fine. John Cena, he's yesterday's news. He's in the past. We're focused on LA Knight right now. And Cody Rhodes in this main event tonight. And Trick goes, yeah. Then no. Where is Drew McIntyre anyway? And he goes, he'll be here, we gotta talk strategy. And then the door flies open and Drew just walks in. And he just snarls at Trick and Carmelo Hayes. And Melo goes, just the guy I needed. Just the guy we were talking about. We good for tonight? And then Drew just looks down at Carmelo Hayes. He goes, are you gonna stay out of my way? And Trick goes, yeah. Melo's gonna stay out of your way, Drew. He'll stay out of your way, no problem. Then he just looks across at Trick, looks back at Melo and goes, then we're good. And walks out. And then Trick goes, what's his problem, Melo? We're always so upbeat. We're in Japan. SummerSlam's around the corner. Why is he so grumpy? Melo goes, I think it's just Scottish people, Trick. We then get Chase U's trip to Tokyo, Japan. They're hitting all the stops. And, they're going... They visit the Tokyo Dome. I imagine there's, I don't know if there actually is in the Tokyo Dome, but I imagine there's, stuff, an inside tour. It's got, the stuff on the walls and stuff. You can look at all the events of the history. We go through the streets of Tokyo. And the joke is that Hams, who is Hams, and doesn't speak a lot, is, chatting with everybody. She's right at home here. And they all go out and eat food. Hams eats about 8 plates of Japanese food. Somebody, probably Shane, thinks it's shit. I don't know if Jimmy actually does not like Japanese food. And Thea would buy loads to bring home. And yeah, just a great Chase U field trip to Tokyo ahead of SummerSlam. Where, of course, back at WrestleMania, Andre Chase did win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So can he do the double and also win the Antonio Inoki Battle Royal? And it is, I've just saw that they just opened up an Antonio Inoki statue in real life, and I hate that wouldn't exist at the time of this segment, because they definitely would go there, and Andre Chase would give a lecture about him. He probably will anyway, Probably will give a lecture about Inoki anyway, and the Tokyo Dome. Maybe even Ospreay and Okada. But yes. 85, not quite as good as I was hoping, but still a pretty solid main event. I gave this time. Okay, this gets 26 minutes. It's Melo, Drew, Io, and Charlotte against Cody, LA Knight, Asuka, and Sasha. The reason why this is a 8-person mixed tag and not just a normal tag is because I don't want we can limit the amount of times that the people who are fighting at SummerSlam fight each other in this. Melo and LA Knight, Cody and Drew, Io and Asuka would Sasha and Charlotte's probably fine because Kyrie's in the match at SummerSlam as well, so that doesn't really matter as much. But we can limit how often the two people fighting at SummerSlam are actually in the ring together, whereas if it was just the SmackDown people, LA Knight and Asuka, then the two women would have to be in the ring together. So that's just silly. But in the end, the winning team is the heel team. Io pins Sasha Banks with a moonsault. 89 for Charlotte, 97 for Io, 84 for Drew, 94 for Carmelo Hayes, 90 for Sasha Banks, 94 for Asuka, 85 for LA Knight, and then 88 for the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And we end SummerSlam SmackDown, we end the road to SummerSlam, and we end... Well, we don't end episode 400 because we've still got Velocity. But we end the main portion of episode 400 with Io, Charlotte, Drew, and Carmelo Hayes standing tall. Could all of these people leave Tokyo as champions? Find out, because episode 401 and 402 will be SummerSlam. 87 rated show. A show I was really happy with. A lot of the build had already been mostly done, so it was just fun stuff for episode 400. That main event I think was really fun, even though it only got an 85. But we have Velocity left to go, which will feature Pistolero against Kushida following up from the tag match last week. We start off with a 64 rated match because apparently Roosh and Ari Sterling don't click. But Roosh does get a win for the LA Extreme ahead of SummerSlam. He beats Ari 40 minutes with La Lanza. 62 for Roosh, 54 for Ari Sterling. Yeah, they just don't click at all. So this match probably should have done better than that. But I put it in hoping it would get at least a green rating. But, chemistry fucked me. So, whatever. Also, I think Roosh may be another one of the isn't quite as over in Japan as he is the States people. Because he was technically a AAA wrestler and not a WWE wrestler. 57. Scripts gets a win over Ikemen Jiro here in Japan. Beating a Japanese fan favourite. Probably rips his jacket off. Keeps it for himself and then pins him in 8:34. 67 for Scripts, 46 for Ikemen Jiro. Then after the match, he points at the screen and it writes out the word, young sensei, you'll never claim my prize. We claim your prizes. Because I know where the pendant is. Sincerely, Scripts. And then it's main event time. 80. Okay, we take that. Apparently there was a lack of psychology. This gets 20 minutes, so I knew these two could have a banger, and I'm a little bit underwhelmed, personally. Low-key thought this might hit the blue ratings, and it probably should have, based on their in-ring performances, but apparently there was a lack of psychology. But Kushida does submit Pistolero with the Kushida lock in 20 minutes and 2 seconds. That may well be the first time Pistolero's been beaten, in a singles match, since he's come here. 90 for Pistolero, 82 for Kushida. And, the Japanese team has won every step. They won the tag match last week, they won here tonight. Can they make it a trifecta and take the Trio Championships at SummerSlam? Then the show ends, Kushida and Pistolero shaking hands. Death from above holding the belts up. That's the wrong, Japanese guy. I was about to say, why the fuck's he in Ichiban? But yeah, that's the wrong Japanese guy. Yes. And yeah, these three against these three. Well, not these three. I can't remember what I named him, because they're NXT Japan people. I just renamed them and let them sit there. So, I can't remember what I renamed him. But the guy who teamed with Naruhito Matsushita last week. And yeah, they're against Death from Above for the Trio Championships, I think on the kickoff show of Night 2. So yeah. That to look forward to. We end the show. We end the build of SummerSlam on a 74. What matters more than what you thought of the show? Do let me know what you thought. And we've now hit 400 of these silly little things. And somehow I'm still going strong. If anything, better than I think I've ever done. Because my mind just keeps flowing. And yeah, we hit a big milestone, 400. And the road to 500 will start SummerSlam. So yeah, I guess thank you everybody who's ever watched any of these. And here's to 400 more. See you then.